Welcome to Action Hound Media, the site and channel all about action. Life's boring, get some more action into your life. Today, we are going to talk about soft martial arts. Okay, some people like soft martial arts, why even bother? Well, actually, some soft martial arts are actually effective, and some are not, of course. But, you could study soft martial arts for all different kinds of reasons, and may not be something for self-defense, but there are other uses other than self-defense that people study these arts for and respect. Soft martial arts, also known as internal martial arts, focus more on redirection of force, relaxation, sensitivity, and internal energy, or chi or ki. Soft martial arts are not about brute strength or direct confrontation. These arts are often contrasted with hard or external martial arts, which emphasize muscular force and direct attacks. So what are some soft martial arts? Tai Chi. Tai Chi is a very big martial art that is more on the softer side. Its origin is in China. It focuses on balance, relaxation, internal energy, and flowing movements. The key traits are slow, meditative movements used for health and not so much for self-defense. It uses softness to overcome hardness. Many think it's just an exercise for the elderly, but it has real martial arts roots. And believe it or not, I was watching a documentary where a Tai Chi master was actually able to push a row of like 10 to 12 people with just energy. Another soft martial art is Aikido. Its origin is in Japan. Its focus is harmony, redirection of force, joint locks, and throws. The key traits, it emphasizes blending an attacker's motion to control them without injury. Its philosophy, winning without fighting, often described as peaceful or defensive. And of course, we know that Aikido can have some practical application in the throws, and we know that Steven Seagal is a successful Aikido practitioner. Pak Hwa Chang, it's another soft martial art. Its origin is in China. Its focus is circular walking, palm strikes, and evasive footwork. The key traits, constant motion, spiraling movements, redirection, and internal power. Its philosophy is to use agility and positioning to avoid direct confrontation. Another soft martial art is Systema. It's a Russian martial art. Its focus is on breathing, relaxation, natural movement, and psychological control. The key traits of Systema is soft, fluid, and often improvisational. You train the sensitivity to movement and efficient self-defense. Other martial arts which are considered soft martial arts, but to a degree, are Judo and Jiu-Jitsu. These arts contain both soft and hard elements. The soft aspects is that you use the opponent's leverage, redirect their energy, and more of a yielding to overcome force. Ju means gentle and or yielding in both Judo and Jiu-Jitsu. And there's an emphasis on using an opponent's energy against them. Some may argue it's more a hard martial art, but it's an effective martial art that uses soft techniques. Some may consider soft martial arts to be not effective or less effective for self-defense, but there are also other martial arts that are really not for self-defense. One such art is Wushu, which concentrates more on performance and demonstration. Wushu emphasizes acrobatics, aesthetics, and choreographed routines rather than resisting partners or realistic combat. Here's a little caveat. Many Wushu techniques are impressive and develop speed and coordination, but not trained under pressure, so they don't translate well into a street fight. Also, arts which have forms only are considered to be not really for self-defense application, and what falls into that category is Tai Chi and classical kata only training. It's like some karate martial arts. Doing solo forms slowly builds balance, relaxation, and internal sensitivity, but without partner drills, pressure testing, or application practice, it won't prepare you for an aggressive attacker. Another martial art or fighting style that is probably not very effective in a real-life self-defense situation would be point sparring in sport-only type of arts of Taekwondo and karate. Why? Because competition rules often forbid strikes to certain targets, grappling or prolonged clinches or ground fighting. So point fighting may not be a good martial art to study if you want to learn how to defend yourselves. Practitioners train only to score points that don't take into effect close quarters and ground fighting. A little caveat though, many point fighters probably cross-train and become excellent fighters because of the supplemental fighting arts. Another martial art that's not really for self-defense is capoeira. It's more a performance dance style without any combative practice. Capoeira develops agility and kicks, but its flashy movements can leave you exposed if not trained with realistic timing and defense. Many schools emphasize music and choreography. Although I will say that there are guys that train capoeira out there who are good fighters because they supplement their training and they train their techniques in a more combative manner. Of course, any theatrical martial arts are not really designed for self-defense. They're excellent for show, but not for survival. So theatrical martial arts, whatever they may be, no good for self-defense. And then there's also fitness, kickboxing, and aerobic classes that are not really geared for self-defense because there's no sparring and there's no partner work where you're actually testing your reactions and the effectiveness of your strikes. So a lot of people out there take, a fitness boxing class and think they could beat people up, and that's ridiculous. So you might get great cardio and maybe even get some technique drilling, but without resisting partners and timing drills, you won't learn how to handle an aggressive opponent. All right, so what do you look for if you want an effective self-defense fighting art? Well, you definitely have to have pressure-tested sparring. All right, you start off light, but you want it to be progressive and realistic with compliant partners. You also want to learn situational training. Low light, multiple attackers, phone grabs, clinch, ground, that type of thing. It's also good to know ground skills. Many street fights could go to the ground and you need at least basic escapes and control. You also want simple, repeatable techniques. Under stress, you want to have as few options as possible. You also have to know how to de-escalate any situation and have legal awareness. You should be trying to avoid fights, and knowing the legal consequences is real self-defense. Cross-training is important. You got to do your striking, clinch, grappling, and all that, and make sure your endurance is good and your strength is good and your strikes are proper. So some very effective self-defense systems would be Krav Maga, boxing, Muay Thai, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and reality-based self-defense systems. And you need to train in realistic and pressure-tested environments. You have to do sparring if you really want to learn how to protect yourself. That's all we're going to talk about this week. Action Hounds Unite. Peace.